let's talk a tiny bit about salvaging materials in a flip house. Hey everyone, it's Dora from flippinghousesandpancakes.com, and it has been a crazy week around here, and I did not have time to do a big video for you, so I'm doing a small video, and I'm just going to tell you a little bit about some of the times I've tried to salvage material, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, depending on the condition the house is in when we buy the flip. I'm sometimes able to salvage some really neat things. We've had some houses where we've had wood trim, beautiful old wood trim, and we were able to save it, and that always makes me really happy because I love that. We had a house where we had like these little old wood closets and neat things like that, and if I can salvage them, I definitely do. Or we've pulled back carpet and there was wood flooring underneath. We definitely will try and reuse any type of wood flooring. If it's in decent condition, if we can sand it down and restain it, we will use it because old wood flooring is the best. You know what I mean? There's also been a lot of stuff I couldn't salvage. The house was burnt or moldy, and we had to get rid of everything. We couldn't save anything from that house. We had to clear it all out, just for the well-being of the next person who lived in the house. So that was never... It's never fun when you have to get rid of absolutely everything. But we've had some houses where, like, I found these beautiful gold knobs and I was able to save the knobs and reuse them in our flip. So you still have something from the old house embedded in the new house. And I love doing that. Anytime I can save an old piece of glass, old hardwood flooring, old wooden trim around doorways or around windows, definitely try and save those. We have had times where I was able to save the trim, but they had to be painted or restained. They just couldn't be left the way they were. So that was always kind of sad. We've been able to save a lot of doors, like front doors, and we've been able to kind of strip them and refinish them. So that's always great. A lot of kitchens we haven't been able to save. Most kitchens have had to they have to be pulled out. First of all, when you're flipping a house, you need them to be in really good condition. And a lot of times the kitchens they're not in good condition. They're not something I can fix or just reface. I have to get rid of them and start over. Same goes in bathrooms. Sometimes you can reglaze a bathtub. A lot of times you can't. Or you can even sometimes reglaze tile in the bathroom. But a lot of times the tile, the tubs, all have to come out. We're buying houses that are usually in such bad condition that there's not much I can save. So that's always sad. But every once in a while we get like a nice old house. And sometimes even if we just save kind of the architectural feature or, you know, the bottom of a railing, at the bottom of the railing, just the way it's set up, we can save the last step, or we can save something so we still have some of the flavor of the old house. I like to save those when I can. Sometimes I'll be saving something and I'm like, we're gonna keep that, and it's gonna stay, and it's gonna be in the new house, and it gets damaged during construction. And that's the biggest challenge, I think, is that when we do have something that is salvageable in our builds, in our renos, being able to make sure that it's kept in pristine condition so that we can use it again, that's some of the challenge. So like we've had times where I was able to like move things out of the building and put them in a storage unit and then bring them back in. And I've had times where it was like, let's cover it and hope for the best and hope that as everything is being brought in and out of the house, nothing smacks into it and destroys it. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I love to salvage things when we're doing a flip. I try my hardest to salvage any material and any flooring, any wall covering, any really neat wood feature, especially wood. Any of those sorts of things, if I can salvage them, if if I can save a fireplace, if I can make something work in a kitchen, anything I can do to reuse or keep part of the house, I definitely try to do. But a lot of times, if the house is in bad enough condition, salvaging, it just doesn't work. So we try our best, but you can't get too upset when it doesn't work. Sometimes the only things I can save are things like door handles, knobs, stuff like that. Maybe cabinet pulls. If I can salvage them, I try. And if I can't get too beaten up about it. Unfortunately, houses we buy are just not in good enough shape. So if you have questions about any particular things that we've salvaged over the years and been able to reuse, go ahead and put it down in the comments below. But I guess when I think about the houses that we've renovated, I think the house itself was a salvage, because those houses that we buy, they're not livable. You can't live in them. Nobody's going to want them. I mean, we've had things that were just so burnt out or so flooded out that it just wasn't going to be something usable. So I guess the whole house is a salvage. If we save it and we don't have to knock the whole thing down and we can bring it back to life, I guess the whole house was a salvage. So that makes me feel a little bit better. If you like this video and you want to see more, maybe some of my longer ones, or you have questions below, of course you can leave those down in the comments. But if you enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe and, hit the bell for notifications so you find out every time I upload a new video. And as always, check out my website, flippinghousesandpancakes.com.